In the game of disc golf, the skills and techniques required to play the game successfully are often easier said than done. Join us for a very different show this month as we sit in on a clinic to help players improve their game, held by touring pros at the 2011 Brent Hambrick Memorial Open. As Disc Golf Monthly starts now. Welcome and thanks for joining us this month as we bring you highlights from the Pro Player Clinic held at the Brent Hambrick Memorial Open held last summer. Touring pros Dave Feldberg, Garret Gurthie, Brad Schick, and Paul McBeth will demonstrate the skills to help you improve your game. To start, the pros will demonstrate to local players correct driving and approaching techniques. A little later, we will share with you one-on-one demonstrations to local players on how to improve their game. But right now, let's go to the introduction for the Pro Clinic at the 2011 Brent Hambrick Memorial Open.
All right, I want to welcome everybody to the 2011 Brent Hambrick Memorial Disc Golf Clinic. My name's Paul J. I'm the TD of the Brent Hambrick Memorial. I just want to kick it off. I want to thank Innova Disc for sponsoring this, and I want to thank Dave for stepping up and taking over. Barry had some car trouble and couldn't get here in time, so Dave's going to take over and do a great job, I'm sure. So at this time, I'm just going to turn it over to Dave Feldberg and let him teach you guys some disc golf.
Thanks, Paul J. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you. So, welcome to the Brent Hambrick National Tour Clinic Series. As you know, we travel all around. Each national tour, we do a clinic. And tonight, we are lucky to have with us three great players. Let me introduce them. We have the farthest throwing player right now in disc golf, threw a disc over 800 feet recently. Garret Gurthie doing distance. Come on up, Garret. This is Garret. 802 feet, right, Garret?
803.
803. All right. Next tonight we're gonna have Paul McBeth. He just won the Memorial, the first NT of the year, the big one, making a stride for the NT series in his first year out. Paul McBeth, come on up. He's doing putting. And then we got your 2008 Hambrick champion and your local superstar, everybody's favorite, Brad Schick. He's going to be doing trick shots and approaching. So during the clinic, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. We want this to be interactive. What we'll do is we'll do 3 sessions where I work with them to teach you 3 things: putting, approaching, and driving. And then afterwards, we'll have an hour in the field. We'll do Paul and Brad will teach you around the basket. And then me and Garret will work on your distance. So you'll get some one-on-one action.
We have to take a quick break, but when we return, the group demonstration will begin, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
For years, Disc Outfitters has been your online resource for taking care of all your disc golf needs, including creating custom-made disc golf apparel for tournaments and clubs. Get ready for the DO Days monthly event at the Rockburn Branch Disc Golf Course, as well as the DO Series Point League. For more info, stop in at their disc golf warehouse at 9691 Columbia, Maryland, or call or click today.
Welcome back. Now it's time for some group demonstrations on improving your approach shots, rollers, drives, and a bonus trick shot as well.
A couple things. I think sidearm is probably my best shot for getting out of trouble. And just real quick on the grip, 2 fingers on the inside rim. There's a lot of different ways you can hold this, but 2 fingers on the inside on the rim and my thumb is just in there. Now I'm holding pretty tight. But this shot, you can generate so much distance just coming off the snap, where if I need to get around this tree and get to that thing, and there's a big tree right here and I have nothing else, and I need to hit the middle of you know, that whatever that thing is, pavilion, and just, you know, just pop it. You know, you can generate so much. I don't want to hit that. You can generate so much distance by just standing still. And at the same time, if you need to get a lot of distance, you can also, I mean, go past the thing. Just stand still. That's a little beat up. It's gonna hit the top. You know, there's a lot of distance there. So 2-finger. Now the same thing with a sidearm roller. This shot, you can do cut roller if you need to go left side of this tree. You can do backhand or a cut roller this way. Same exact shot. 2 fingers, thumb on the outside, and I would probably throw. You know, if I'm just gonna go around this tree and try to get to the center of the pavilion, just lay it down. And this takes a lot of practice, but once you kind of get that line, you know, it's gonna cut back around nice and soft. Now, if you need to do it the other way, a cut roller, this is a little more challenging. I'll use something a little faster, a little more stable. You don't want to throw anything understable because when it hits the ground, it's going to start to pop up a little faster. So I may line, you know, as Dave said, I wouldn't line my body up like this. I would line my body up this way because my arm's going to be coming over this way. And I want this thing to hit the ground coming over here and staying over the whole time. You don't want the disc to ever flip up and cut this way. So you're going to use more stable and just kind of lay it down. That's a little harder of a shot to learn.
That's real hard.
It is. It's tough. It's tough to get the control. So sidearm rollers. I'm trying to think if there's anything else specific. You want to do your couple trick shots?
Yeah. So I got a bonus for you guys on this section. My bonus tonight trick shot is the Skamahawk. And a Skamahawk is a shot that I'd like to say I invented, but when I was an amateur, I was in Florida and I ran into Scott Stokely. And he was training for some distance records back then, and I watched him and he threw one so high and so turned that it went up and it landed on its back like that. And I was like, that's interesting. And I asked him if he meant to do it, and he said no. He said it happens sometimes when I throw really high and hard. And I said, well, that could be a useful shot. And so I wasn't very good at throwing overhands or thumbers, tomahawks or thumbers. But let's say I need to go over this tree and we'll imagine it's a little taller. I'm just not very comfortable going like this or like this because my shoulder, I don't want to tear anything. But what you do is you take a really beat up disc, and when you go to throw it, it's just like the approach. My angle has to match the shot. So I'm going to have to throw it from here, right? Because I want the disc to go out, turn over on its back, and then turn into a thumber. Okay? And so this is a shot that I developed to make up for not being able to throw one. And then it pancakes, then it turns into a thumber and drops. Bink. All right? You want to throw one?
I'll try.
Garrett's going to try one. And you're throwing that regular roller anhyzer, backhand. Just a high roller with something super flippy. Garrett's got it. Well, the pancake, see how his wasn't as flippy as mine, so it just goes straight down like an overhand.
This disc is like beat up.
What type of disc to tie into it? Because you say just a beat up disc.
Just a beat up driver. It has to be a driver. A driver. Any type of driver. Let's see if I have one more. Anybody got a flippy disc in their bag?
Here, you won't have any problem with that.
All right. So again, the better you get at it, the more you'll be able to arch your back instead of manipulate it. And I can get to this position when I'm throwing, and I can literally start throwing it like this and make it start, instead of having to do that long pan you saw, I can do a quick pan and flip like a thumber. So I'll do a quick pan with this disc. Watch the arch of the back matches the line of the disc. Right? And now it pans really fast and comes back to the right like a thumber.
Really tough shot, but that's just a bonus.
That's just your bonus trick shot of the day. But work on sky rollers and big anhysers, and once you can master those, and you can throw a big high sky roller that turns too much, try one and really turn it on purpose and let it fly out. Any questions? All right. Next up, we got the highlight of the show. All right. We got Double G, Garret Gurthie from Florida coming up, 803 feet. He's not going to show you that yet. All right. First, we have to talk about his technique a little bit. I'll talk about some technique, and then we'll let him rip him, okay? So, Garret Gurthie, come up. Talk about the way you grip it and how you approach your arm swinging.
Okay.
All right.
So first off, I got driver here, destroyer of my choice. 170, not max weight. A lot of people think max weight for pros. It's not always the same. Paul throws 170. Ricky, he throws like 150. No, I'm just kidding. He does. First one, it comes to grip. I have the Climo grip, which is a modified fan grip. If you see, I stack my 3 fingers, and a fan grip, Dave, would be a little more on the edge with the index finger, right?
Yeah, actually, he likes to, I think it's a fan grip with a little more squeeze.
Yeah.
But he likes to call it the fork grip.
There you go.
And it's just like you'd pick up a fork, if you think about that.
All right, so that's the grip. I don't know if y'all see that.
And while he's showing you that grip, the other ways to grip it are considered power grip, but I'm not going to go over the details of how to put your fingers. Everybody's seen that.
Yeah,
I just want you to think about one thing in both grips. People are tending to do this with their thumb, or just sitting in here with their thumb. What you want to do is make sure there's no space in here and that you actually flex this muscle. This muscle in the hand right here is stronger than this muscle that you're used to squeezing with in the front. And what happens is when you learn to use this muscle and flex it, the disc rips out of your hand quietly. When you hear Garret throw in a minute, it's not going to sound like some big explosion. It's going to sound like some kind of air change. And that's because his thumb muscle's stronger and he's overpowering his index finger top muscles. That allows you to use both sides of your arm and get the most out of your grip. So when you grip down, put your thumb flat and squeeze with this thumb. And if you look at mine, over the years I've developed these little muscles I can flex in there if you look at those, because that's actually how hard we're gripping right there. That's the tightest point of the grip, right at the release. Just at the release.
Yeah.
If you could
Keep it loose and then...
Loose, very loose. Everything we're going to teach you, do it from loose to tight and slow to fast. So you see the top players doing this all the time? That's because they're getting their hands loose with 2 fingers, and then when they go into their throw, they're so used to it, they get right back to that grip. All right.
Okay, my grip consists of, you don't want the limp handshake, you don't want the overstrong handshake, you want the nice and firm handshake. You don't want a grip that's too loose on the disc, you don't want one that's too tight. When he was saying tight, he meant by a firm grip.
Yeah.
Where, like if he's trying to take it out of my hand, he can't take it. But if he tries to take it like that, you know, you have too loose of a grip. And you don't want it where he has no chance of taking it.
Yeah, you don't want to warp it.
Yeah, you don't want to warp your disc. Okay. So does anybody have any questions on the grip?
All right.
I'll add one more thing. When it comes to distance competitions, I switch up to 3 fingers sometimes. Depending on the day, I might be able to rip a couple more further with 3 fingers. Why? I think it comes off a lot faster without that fourth finger being the pinky, coming off 1, 2, 3, 4. It's coming off 1, 2, 3, and it's generating a lot more spin faster.
You take the fork and off?
Yeah.
Right.
He loses control.
I lose
Yeah.
control, but that's why I only do it in distance competitions. So that's that.
And that's
Okay.
why if you look at a lot of the guys over the years that do the big distance contests, throw 2 fingers,
2 fingers.
like this.
Which is just bam, 2 fingers and it's gone.
And that allows them to get a lot more generation of spin, but they have no idea where it's going half the time. So for golfing, you don't want to do that. You want to develop a grip like he's showing you so you can get almost that much power but control it.
Okay, so we'll go to stance.
Yeah.
All right. I use the X step. There's a scissor step, which, like you were saying, Scott Stokely a minute ago,
Yeah.
he used the scissor step, which was more of a, his face was more towards the target at the beginning, and it would be like this. Okay. I use the X step where I have a little hop, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Follow through. Does anybody have a question on the stance or on the steps?
Can you do it again?
Yeah.
I'll break it down for you.
So
Okay.
I'll do it a little slower.
Yeah, so what he's going to do here, some people call it the X step, pro hop, pivot hop, the hop, all right? And what happened was, real quick, is that Stokely taught this beautiful scissor thing like this,
Yeah.
but his leg was so long that he could get out here and still bend his knee.
Yeah.
But the average human isn't that tall and we can't do that. And so if I'm throwing from here, how do I have anything? You could walk up and just tap me and I'd fall over. So people of normal size had to learn how to be able to get that kind of momentum and turn the hips, and that's by gliding across the ground. So as Garret goes, he takes a little left, larger right, he pops off it, left, right, pivot. So let me show it to you in slow motion.
He's good at slow motion.
Yeah.
I'm not good at slow motion. I like fast.
Check it out. Now the great part about this is everything matches. It's like there's a checkpoint. This is not my opinion. This is biomechanically correct, okay? So the left arm and the left leg are attached, and the right arm and the right leg are attached, right? So as he goes, and you'll watch him, he goes a little left to the left, and so does his arm. See that? And what happens is, on his next step, he takes it and crosses over the line and lands on his toe, and his arm is already here, perfectly lined up, see? And what he does is he pivots, and now his right leg and his right arm are straight, and his left arm and his left leg are bent. He pushes with this muscle right here, pushing right off the ground first, then left, but he lands left-right. He pushes right, lands left-right. And that's really the tricky part, is to push off the right, but land with the left. And that's where the hop, or the X, comes in. And when he lands, he'll be in the same position that he was, both extended, and when he pulls them together, they again match. See the right arm and right leg and left? And he waits until he gets his arm, as he's rotating on his heel, you'll see, to match, and they're still a match, and then he lets the disc out. They're perfectly lined up at this point, and he rotates through. He kicks this leg up, and then kicks the leg and the arm together, and you finish the exact same. Left arm, left leg, right arm, right leg. Let's see if you can see any of that now.
You on the pro one?
Yep. Here you go. Here's your big show. Now he's going to warm up a little bit. Don't worry. Now he has one unique thing that he does. It's only because he's been playing 12,000 years.
Yep.
He's been throwing a very long time, since he was
18 years.
18 years, since he was 3. So he has this unique thing where he goes under the arm. Don't try to mimic that. That's something he naturally does, and everybody has their own natural thing. That's not the thing to mimic. Everything else he does is perfectly sound, and that's why he can throw it so well. So you want to throw another one?
Yeah.
This time, all I want you to do, now I know it's hard to not watch where he's throwing. I'm asking you, been waiting all this time to see him throw, and now I'm going to say, don't watch the disc for a second. When he throws, I want you to watch his right foot at the release. And the key to getting good distance is that he's going to land on his toe, rotate on the ball to the heel, come through and land on his toe, instead of what you see 90% of everybody doing, which is rotating on the toe. Okay? That's going to take all the pressure off the knee, because this is pressure against the knee, and this is using the hip to rotate. So let's see if you can see what he's doing. Watch the right foot. Then we'll see the disc. It'll be in the air long enough, I swear. Did you see that right foot twist? That's the key part to the throw. What I see the majority of people that are learning to try to do what Garrett's doing is they're in this reach back mode, right? They come through to the position Garrett's in right here, and then their foot's in this position. Now it's parallel. And what they're used to doing is rotating on their toe from frisbee. They rotate on their toe and take the disc. See how I'm taking it off the line to do that? And they swing through, right? We have to keep the disc on a line all the way through the target. And the only way to do that is to do what Garrett's doing, is by when he gets to here, he has to rotate his heel open to give the space of the disc to stay on the line. See how that works? And then that way he releases it on the line. He releases it right here on the line, his hand comes off. If you take the disc off the line and make a loop, then you have that thing where some days you park every hole and some days you don't make any.
I'd like to say that where a lot of the distance come from is transfer of the body weight. So whenever I'm coming back, I'm going to bring it compact whenever I'm releasing. So I'm coming back, and it's very fast at the end. As you hear from ball golfers, you see them, they hit it nice and smooth. They sail the ball. We try to hit the ball as hard as we can. It goes 150 yards, you know. Some people, I'm not saying all of you, right. Sometimes that's the way it works. And another one I like to use is, if you see ballerinas.
That's what I said in the video by accident. If you've ever seen it, sorry.
Ice skaters, okay? Whenever they're on the ice and they got their arms wide open, are they spinning fast or are they spinning slower? Slower. Okay. whenever I have my disc close to my body, okay, whenever the ice skaters have their hands tugged close to their body, they spin it slow or fast? Super fast, okay? And that's why I like to keep the disc close to my body, and I think that's why I develop the hand up, under, and throwing, because it comes back through a lot faster, okay? And I think I use this hand as more like a pendulum to bring more weight through, you know?
And he might. We haven't broke it down in the
We
lab
haven't broke it down yet, but that's just my theory.
It's possible. So let's address the two things he just said. The first one is shifting the weight. That's, you know, people always talk about that, but they don't give you anything. Let's talk about the 80-20 rule in sports. They call it the 80-20 rule. When you're doing a move and you're loading the move, you should be at 80 in the back, 20 in the front. So let's look at that. So reach back, 80% of the weight is on my left leg and 20% is on my right toe, right? And at the point of impact, I needed to go back to 20-80 the other way because I need to be a mirror. Watch. Boom. Now, 80%'s on this leg and only 20's on this one. And that's what he's talking about, going from 80-20 to 80-20. And if you don't get that proper shift and get onto your toes, then you'll be out of timing. Anybody have any questions about that before I address the other one?
It's right then at that 80-20 when you go to your heel.
Yes. You've got it, you've shifted it, and the way you shifted it was going from toe to heel. So it's all back here on this leg, and to push off, you push it to that leg, and that's when your heel hits, and then you pop. We've been here year after year, and we're trying to build you to that next level and give you something new for those of you who have come year after year. And it's very difficult to get everything that you need to be able to do that in 20 minutes. So what we're going to do is me and Garret are going to step over here, come up with your discs, throw some drives. We'll try to get you to evaluate your drives. Half of you come over here with Brad Schick and Paul to do some putting and then switch back and forth. I want to thank Garret for the distance. Everybody give him a round of applause.
Well, that was some helpful insight on improving your approach, rollers, and your drives. We're going to take another break, and when we return, we will give you some one-on-one demonstration on putting and driving. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Pro Player Clinic at the 2011 Brent Hambrick Memorial Open. Now it's time for the pros to give some one-on-one instruction to local players at the Brent Hambrick Memorial Disc Golf Course.
It's not really steps, it's more just like you kind of have your toe pointing straight on. I kind of tilt it a little bit to the side, so a little bit more maybe. And then your back foot, you kind of want to, a little bit angled like that. Yeah, there you go. And then just, and then kind of bend your knees a little bit and get comfortable. Just kind of bounce a little bit. And then when you come off, push off this back leg and reach for the basket. But you got to keep your wrist kind of throwing. You don't want to lock it up. So when you push off, you want to reach for that basket and have your wrist going forward. There you go. Quick learner. Question?
Yeah, a couple things. When you're looking at the basket, is everything lining up straight to the basket?
Pretty much. Like these two. My left foot's a little off center. I mean, it's not dead center, but my left foot's a little off center. If I'm looking for distance, now sometimes for more control and to slow it down, I might spread it out even a little further. But I try to keep it off just a little bit. I mean, this is for the most speed and the most, the most control, probably where I'm just following through.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's off just a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'm just trying to get down.
Yep.
And then push and follow through. I try to pretend I'm kicking somebody behind me and reach out and grab the pole.
Yeah.
Just to keep that momentum going. Because when I miss, I'm probably most of the time I'm missing low and left because I'm just not following through and not committing to it.
Yeah.
I mean, 90% of the time.
It's like a shake hands with the pole.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. What I saw when I was watching your putt was you're lining it up right here and you're going really quickly right here and you're just snapping it and cutting it off. So it's just like a little snap. Maybe you want to try, like you've been working on your stance like this, maybe turn it so your hips are square. So square your hips. Spread your feet just a little bit, So get your hips squared with the basket. That's the main thing you want. Because if your hips are turned this way, you're gonna hit your elbow or something, or they're gonna be in the way. So if you turn them a little straighter with the basket, it's gonna. Yeah, you don't have to get in your stance. So get this one pointed towards the basket, and this one, like you were saying, it's the heel that's lined up with the pole. So try to keep it up here. There you go.
But I don't know what constitutes. So like if I'm doing this, then I
follow through a little more. You're still just snapping it. You wanna, yeah, better, just like that. So try that a couple more times and see how it feels for you.
All right.
That's the general idea, right?
Oh, you got it all. Everything is down the center except for that twist at the end. Everything's money, but you're a toe twister.
I think I've seen that.
He did a wrist thing.
Kind of cock like the other guy.
Yeah. So he'll show you the wrist thing, and then we'll fix your footwork.
So, just gonna go in the groove of the hand. Okay. Like Dave was saying, you want it almost pushing against the rim, so whenever it comes off,
like it pops off.
Yeah, it comes off, bam. And then on the back, see how I got my pinky tucked under there? These two are gonna be on the flat edge of the rim, and the pinky is gonna be wrapped around this part right here.
And you're gonna start using this muscle.
Yep.
This one right here.
Yeah, by pushing. By pushing
All right,
with
this one needs to be closer to your
pad.
bird finger. There you go.
This one right here.
Yep, that's it right there.
That. So,
Yeah.
so I really feel like I'm feeling a lot of pressure with these two
Yeah,
fingers.
yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
Do I squeeze down real?
So here's your
hard with my thumb?
here's your pressure points. 1, feel that.
Yeah. Okay.
2,
Okay. Those
feel
are
that.
it.
3,
Okay.
feel that.
Okay.
That's the real dog.
Okay.
All right, and you only do that at the last second. Now, Lewis, I'll hold this, Lewis.
Okay.
That's how it feels. And
Okay.
at the last second, you go.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay, so I'm feeling that pressure right there.
Yeah.
There, okay.
See how that piece
Yeah. That's
is
fine.
against this, the part of the disc, the
Yeah.
flat of the disc? That's where you want it when you're coming through. Wham.
Now I want you to go to do your throw, and at the very end, I want you to go. Freeze. And I'm gonna fix you. I'm gonna fix your whole day up. Freeze. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. See how good your positioning is already?
Okay.
So now twist that toe so it faces me a little more. Not so
you
much,
go.
not so, there it is.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna pull your weight so you're on your toe. Like that. See, that's where you throw from.
And see the
Okay.
80%?
Yeah, see how you put all the weight on that?
20% there.
Now,
Okay.
I want you to pull your shoulder without bending your elbow that way and shift your weight to your heel. Yes, feel that? Yep, pull it. Wham, wham, right?
Okay.
And then when you get there, you're gonna then bend the elbow without moving the foot.
Okay.
And when you get to here, you're gonna start rotating on the heel. Lift, put all the weight on the heel. Yes, and then you're gonna let it out. Now,
Put the finger on the
yeah.
outside disc.
Now check this out. How long have you been playing for?
2005.
All right, check this out. Because you have a natural, what they call a quick tendon bounce,
Yeah.
you could throw a disc into the middle of that field pretty easy.
Okay.
But you're doing everything against the ability to do that. You're making it really hard on yourself to do that. With the first step, so you're starting like this, right? So there's no turn, so you can't get any rotation. So you got to start facing the target and take the step into the turn. So you're starting on step 2, and you're just going right into third step. You got to add a step here to get to there. All right, to get the momentum going. The other thing that you're doing is when you land, you're landing on your toe, and you're only twisting on your toe. You got to transfer from toe to heel to get all that pop.
Okay. Because I
Alright.
noticed when I fall through, I always come off to the side.
Right.
I never twist all the way to the front.
Right.
Because you're started at the second step already, and it just gives you the.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to try one with the left step first?
Wait, should we try to get him to
Yeah.
tuck the finger
You
in?
go see the
I
grip.
do tuck the finger in. Though.
You do? Oh,
At the
yeah.
last second?
Right at the last.
Let's see what you do at the
second.
last second. What does it feel like at the last second?
So it's.
All right, let me see. Money. All right. That's why it went so good. All right. So now, start forward. Take a little left. Practice one. Little left. Yep. And then go into your twist. Yeah. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. That's way better throw.
Now with the right disc.
See how much easier that put your body in the line? You'd have to do that
Yeah.
whip to get up
Yeah.
there?
And you get the full rotation.
Yes. Yeah.
You good with Anheuser's?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. That was, let's give a round of applause for Paul and Garrett and Brad. Thanks, everybody that came out. I hope you won something. If not, your raffle tickets are in there for the basket on Sunday. We hope to see you at the Final 9, and we appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
And that will do it for Disc Golf Monthly's coverage from the 2011 Pro Player Clinic at the Brent Hambrick Memorial Open. We hope some of the techniques described will take a few strokes off of your game. Look for more demonstrations next month as we bring you another clinic held at the 2011 Pittsburgh Flying Disc Open. Until then, for Disc Golf Monthly, I'm Carl Cubbage on Disc Golf Monthly, the show that takes you one step closer to the sport of disc golf.